In this section, I wanted to cover one reason why you can get headaches from this muscle right here. So think about the big band that goes down from the back of the head all the way down to the collarbone and the sternum. It's called your SCM, or sternocleidomastoid, so named after the three attachment points. It's one big belly that comes down and then it splits at the bottom to have two attachment points down here. So you can get headaches if there's a restriction in the blood flow, if there's just a block there, a restriction in lymph. But a lot can happen when we're clenching too much with these muscles. It's a big one for forward head posture, just having these muscles a little too engaged throughout the day. But it also is just a big clog point for lymph, tension, whatever it might be. It can cause a headache. So this section, we wanted to discuss how to get rid of that. So first you have to find your SCM. So if you side bend your head to the left and then gaze towards, side bend to the left, gaze towards the right, it's going to expose the left SCM. See if you can find yours. And then back to center, and we'll do it on the opposite side. Side bend to the same side you're trying to find, and then gaze away. And I mean, they're pretty prominent. They pop right out. You might need a mirror or your phone camera in order to see it pop right out for you. And that's what we're trying to address. So first, you can just relax it now that you know where it is, you know how it travels, and then just palpating it. Give it a little squeeze. See if the tissue is really dense when it's relaxed. No matter what, if you have your head up, right, it's going to be on a little bit. But see if you can relax it for the most part so you're no longer in that position, and then just squishing it around and seeing if it squishes under your fingers, see if it's hard to even grab. Because all of that is just an indication that the tissue, the fascia all around, is restricted in some way. So even just manipulating it like that, giving a little squeeze, holding it gently, breathing, imagine that your breath is going right into it, and imagining that it's softening and releasing under the fingers. So just taking hold and giving it little squeezes all the way up to the back of the ear. So that's one way, just a little manual. Don't be too aggressive though. You don't want to add just more tension to it. It's got to be a balance between effort and ease. So you want to be in that place where you're giving it just enough pressure so that your whole body's awareness is completely focused on what you're doing because it's a lot of sensation, but a level where you can actually relax. So you imagine the tissue underneath softening. You can even imagine the breath warming into it. So if the pinch is too hard, everything is recoiling. And even if you try to relax, it's just still holding on for dear life because of the pain. So go light, go nice and easy, caring for the SCM. So that's one way you can work to open it up. Another way is a fascial stretch. So to do that, we're going to take the opposite hand, find the collarbone on that same side that you're trying to stretch. First, find it, and then try to be on the skin if you can. It's okay if there's clothing there, but try to be as close to the skin as possible. So you're going to slip the opposite hand right under there, press onto the skin, pinning it down, and then you're going to reinforce it with the other hand and pull down slightly. Now, if it doesn't go anywhere, it just means that there's a lot of restriction in the tissue there. Mine didn't go anywhere, so it just means that there's some tightness in the flesh at the collarbone and slightly below. But we know we have a solid pin there. And then you're going to go ahead and side bend to the opposite side and side bend to the same side and gaze to the opposite. And see how I can barely go here because I'm really catching the tissue that's holding that muscle in place, supporting the muscle. It's your supportive tissue. So you're just being there, breathing and holding and imagining a lengthening happening throughout. And the time held is important. So you want to be here for at least 5 breaths, which could end up, if they're nice slow breaths, being more like 60 to 90 seconds. But you just want to be there until you feel a release. And that can feel meaning that maybe your hands drop down a little bit more, or you feel like you can turn a little bit more, or you just actually feel like a tension release along that line. Maybe you feel like you want to swallow, or you take a breath and it gets a little bit bigger. Those are all indications that the tissue is conceding and letting go. And then you can come back to center and check in with it, see how it feels, even give it some squeezes to check in, and you might find that it's more squishy and pliable, that when you poke, it's not so sensitive. Maybe you repeat that on the other side.